Welcome to another edition of In the Weeds with Ikard and Lehman, presented by Riverwind Casino. Riverwind is Oklahoma City's premier casino experience, and there are so many reasons why Riverwind is consistently voted OKC's #1 casino, but it all starts with their amazing variety of gaming thrills and excitement. Riverwind's beautiful, award-winning environment plays host to more than 2,800 of the latest electronic games, with a huge selection of table games, including blackjack match, roulette, and Teddy's favorite, craps. No matter what your game, Riverwind has it in spades and hearts. And to learn more about their gaming promotions and entertainment options, all you got to do is visit riverwind.com. Riverwind Casino, good times, great rewards. We're back, Ted, for the In the Weeds edition after OU Houston. And we're starting on the offensive side of the ball. And it only felt right to do a play that didn't go well for some reason with how this game went offensively. In all seriousness, we got a lot of questions about the first play of the game.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think is the best way to start by describing what was supposed to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. I think so. Yeah.
So I think the most important thing to know is that this is a speed sweep, jet sweep, whatever you want to call it. It's a speed sweep all the way. It's not a read play. Jackson Arnold is not reading anything. Jackson Arnold did not make a mistake here. This is simply the best way to put it is this is what happens when the defense just doesn't do what you think they're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
This is the type of play that happens when the defense doesn't do what they've shown to do on tape. And
Or
I've been
sometimes the guy messes up, right? It
right.
doesn't do what he's supposed to do.
So let's just walk through what it's, but the mechanics of the play real quick. So you're faking the GT counter back to the left. So you're going to see Josh Bates block back on this defensive end. You're going to see Sexton come down on the nose. You're going to see Tarquin block down this defensive end. You're going to see Wee Woo pull around. You're going to see Jake Taylor pull around. They are selling GT counter back to the left, hoping that it draws the attention of these linebackers and it makes them hesitate for just the count as Deion Burks is hauling this way on the speed sweep, right? A fraction of a second. That's all you need when you got a guy as fast as Burks. Well, what goes wrong is with this defensive end. In their film study leading into the game, I can guarantee you every time this defensive end got that pulling action, he either got into the hip pocket of the pullers and chased, or he squeezed into the center, collisioned him, maybe stayed there for a second, saw where the ball was at, and then tried to cross the center's face. That's typically how it goes when guys get pulling action like that. What he did not do during film study is fly straight up the field. So I'm guessing throughout the week of practice, when they were running this play, and usually you know what player you're running to start the game, right? That's something that's determined. I guarantee you every time they practice it, Josh Bates went to block back. This defensive end played into him, collisioned him, and possibly tried to cross his face because of this pulling action, telling him, hey, they're running counter this way. That's how the play is designed, right? That is what you are hoping for. Now, you've got the tight ends out here. You've got Roberts and Sharp. They are comboing this guy to the corner. And then you've got Gavin Sawchuk, who is arc releasing to the play side backer, right? Once he realizes, hey, it's not GT counter to the left, they're running speed sweep, he's going to come on, and that's Sawchuk's guy. The play is designed to get Burks one-on-one in space with this guy. If all goes right, if the defense does what you think it's going to do, that's the play. get Deion Burks on the first play of the game in space with a safety for Houston. The problem is the defensive end runs straight up the field and tackles him. Which you look at Josh Bates, right about here is when he knows something has gone terribly wrong, and that's not what we practiced.
Right.
And slowly, Deion Burks gives the look like that guy wasn't there. He's not supposed to be there. And it's this simple, Ted, because it looks terrible. Yep. It looks terrible. But it's nothing more complicated than that defensive end for Houston did something he hadn't shown to do on tape.
And something that he's not supposed to do. Because if this is just it's the fake little read with the motion guy instead of the touch pass, and it is the quarterback counter, well, that guy has run himself all the way out of the play, and they're going to be massively short on the front side.
Correct. So, it is just a product of, do you want to call it a good play from the defensive end? Like, hey, he made a 5-yard tackle for loss. It's a good play, but it's just one of those situations where, hey, man, sometimes the defense doesn't do it the way you think they're going to do it. And a defensive end runs straight up the field and makes a nice play. And what you do is you say, hey, man, good play. We know we look like idiots. Anyone that is criticizing Josh Bates about this play is wrong. It's wrong. If you knew the defensive end was going to run up the field like that, it's impossible. It's impossible for Josh Bates to get there. It's an impossible block for the center. It's impossible. So I saw some people criticizing him, and I was like, you're really just telling on yourself that you don't know ball.
Yeah. I like, the only thing I would say is, like, it's good to learn this now. Like, it might not be the best idea to run, which I wouldn't have even thought about, but it might not be a great idea to run a play like this where you're expecting the defensive end to be like reading blocks, like on the first play of the game when he might be keyed up and just firing off you know what I'm saying?
I think that's a tremendous point. So I would say this should be, we talk about building plays, right? Building certain concepts off certain concepts. We talk about that on the podcast a lot. And this is one that maybe you should have shown the guy GT counter before you showed him the speed sweep.
Yeah.
Or whatever you want to call the little touch pass, which, by the way, if Burks fumbles that's why they do the little touch pass. If he fumbles it, if he doesn't field it cleanly, it's an incomplete pass. It's not a fumble. That's why they do it that way. But do you want to know the good thing?
Yes.
They made the adjustment. First possession of the second half, and I couldn't find it on. No, I couldn't find it. If you DVR'd the game, you can go back and look at it. It's the first offensive possession for OU in the second half. I think it's the 12:45 mark or so in the third quarter, and they make the adjustment, and it's Javonte Barnes instead of Sawchuk. But the adjustment is, hey, we're going to block it the same. We're going to have our tight ends combo out to the corner. We're faking the GT counter. We've got both our pullers. We're running the speed sweep to Deion Burks. But this time, instead of the running back going for this play side backer, arc releasing for him, he goes and Javonte Barnes hammers the exact same guy. He does the exact same thing. He flies up the field, and what does Javonte Barnes do? He puts him straight on his back.
Nice.
And so for everyone saying this is a horrible play, never run it again, they ran it again. They made the proper adjustment. Burks outruns the play side linebacker to the sideline, gain of 8. It's not a horrible play. The defensive end reacted in a way they did not anticipate. They saw it. They came back to it, made the proper adjustment, gain of 8. That's what happened.
Yep. Nice adjustment.
So it is a nice adjustment. And the second this happened in the football game, it made me so the second I saw Josh Bates right here, it made me think of something. Oh, let's see him celebrate. What do they do? Let's see. Oh, he looks happy. Oh, high five. Here we go. 2014 Sugar Bowl. If you wanted to see another center wearing 64 look like a complete idiot for Oklahoma. So we're pulling the backside guard and we're pulling the backside tackle. Now the defensive structure is different, but you get the picture, right? You've got the front side combo. Now, I studied every single snap that Alabama played in the 2013 season. And every snap that I saw when they were in even front and the center went to block back on the 3 technique, the 3 technique read the pullers, hammered the center, tried to go through his soul, and then played over the top and tried to cross his face. It may not have been 100% of the time, but it was 99.9% of the time. Okay? So practicing for this football game, all I did was think, hey, when you are blocking back on a 3, you have to step a little higher because they are so good at reading it. He's going to see the pull. He is going to collision you, and then he is going to try to manhandle you and cross your face. That is exactly what is going through my mind when I'm about to snap this football. And then this happened. He ran straight up the field and killed Trevor. Not one snap did he do this on tape in preparation for this game. And they didn't do this in the first half when we pulled.
Oh,
they played into me and collisioned me on the back block.
I could I
straight
could
up
see
the
your
field, right in the hip pocket. No, wait, you'll just wait till my face. Right. Oh God. Oh no.
like your senior quarterback absolutely rolled backwards.
This is the first drive of the second half. We just had an incredible
God.
first half. And I just was like, really?
It's
never
back
done
to
that.
the same point. Don't run it when they're keyed up.
And the reason I added this was, number one, that situation for Josh Bates reminded me of this. It's just sometimes the defense doesn't do what they've shown to do on tape. And you look like an idiot. The important part was I did not let that happen the rest of the football game.
That's good.
I changed my strategy, but yeah, the best part is the fall in slow motion. Just oh no, he's getting consumed by this giant defensive tackle, falling all of his weight on his throwing shoulder. Kind of a little lawn chair right there. Oh yeah. And me just going to my defense.
You've even got your arms out as to say, you didn't do that before, dude.
That's exactly what I was saying. But for the record, I did go and help Trevor up immediately and just say, I'm pretty sure I said he never did that on tape. All right, Ted, let's get to the play on the defensive side of the ball. But first,
all you tailgaters, listen up. We are now officially in the premium conference of college football, and you expect a premium product on the field and on the grill. That's why you need Didier Ranch's steak burgers to take your tailgate to the next level. Proudly raised in Oklahoma for over 120 years, premium beef this good is hard to come by. Go to DidierRanch.com. That's DIDIER ranch.com. Use promo code Oklahoma15 for 15% off your order. Didier Ranch. Tradition plays better and tastes better.
Let's look at one of Stutzman's many fantastic plays from this football game. Let me set the scene for the people before you go all in on what you're seeing here, Ted. They're running, whether you want to call it GY counter or GH counter, whatever you consider this human being to be, you can call it either. But it's basically sub personnel, one back counter. So these two guys, left guard, left tackle, are trying to combo, and they're taking it all the way back to the will backer. So that's Kip Lewis. This center is going to block back. This right tackle is going to what they call reach and hinge. And then this right guard is going to pull and be the kick out puller. And this, let's call him an H-back, is going to wrap inside the kick out for Stutzman as he flows over the top, playing the counter. So that's what Houston is trying to accomplish there. Let's see how it goes for him. Oh boy.
Boom.
Ooh.
Does
Not well.
go great.
It did not go great.
This is very standard play here. This is just like I mean, we always called it field angle, where it's a blitz to the field. As you notice, they're called to the field. So Stutzman's the Mike, Kendel Dolby is the Cheetah or the Sam, and then Kip Lewis is the Will. So we're not lined up to the passing strength. We're lined up to the field, as you can see. And they did that all night. They did not travel
So
with strength.
let's get some labels. So Nickel Sam, Mike, Will.
Right. Now, typically, if you would be lined up differently, this would be closed left to the tight end, and the nickel would be over the two receiver that's displaced up there where the Will is, and it would be flipped. But we had a blitz on. Sometimes you call the blitz to the field, line up to the field, and that's what we have here. And Kendel Dolby is the edge blitzer. Edge blitzer, you always have to keep your outside arm free. You cannot go inside that puller. You always keep your outside arm free. He does a great job attacking it. He gets enough of that guy. We're not going to ask Kendel Dolby to go square up on a tight end face to face, but he does a good job going right to the edge. I like how Wooler does a really good job. See, the natural thing is to get up the field here whenever they go down, to get up the field. And if he comes up the field at all and gets kicked out by that first blocker, he's cutting everyone off. He's cutting the blitzer off. The whole thing is going to be messed up. So he fights like hell to get inside, because he know you always turn everything to the blitz. So the blitz is outside of him. So he's going to get inside of that puller. Stutzman comes really tight off of the edge of that. The kick out is right there on Dolby, and Stutzman, boom, fits up perfectly. Now, here's the other part of it that is interesting. Now, because we got a blitz on and everyone's kind of down, if that tackle would have climbed for Stutzman and gone straight up the field, Stutzman has to stay backside of 68. He has to stay on the opposite side. Why? Because if he comes to block him and he goes over the top and gets peeled out, now there's going to be a gap inside of the puller and inside of Stutzman. So that's why he would have to stay backside, because you can see, and you've talked about this before.
You're saying if 68 were to climb straight, instead of going for Kip, instead of working back there, if he worked straight up for Stutzman, Stutzman would have to hang on this side of him.
Correct. Now, because you've got another guy displaced. If Kip was in the box, he can come over.
Gotcha.
Kip is outside. And why is that? And you've talked about this before as a center IDing blitzes. In a blitz, you always have a replacer. And you can see Bowman is, I think that's Billy Bowman, isn't it? Bowman is the replacer. So he comes down and you can see where he was going to fit. So if you can envision the tackle coming up to Stutzman, he would stay backside. Kendel Dolby would hammer it outside. And Billy Bowman is the replacer coming down to fit right where Stutsman is, right there.
So
So
you're
that
telling me Bowman also fitted perfectly.
correct. Yep.
Is it a perfect defensive snap? Is that what you're telling me?
Um.
I
Yeah.
guess it could have been perfect if Dolby would have just completely collisioned the tight end into the running back for the tackle for loss. That would have been
I'll get.
cooler.
I'll give him an A+ for his body size. Now, if that was Omasigo, I'm saying you catch a little bit more of that guy, make that hole even tighter. But great job by Stutzman. And you can you can game plan this to where Kendel Dolby maybe does knife that to the inside and spill it to the replacing flat player
Right.
who is Bowman coming down. That could be a game plan thing. So those things
Let's
can be tinkered with. But for this, really good job. Really good again by Woolard getting inside because that's really hard to if he comes up the field at all and they dig him out, it's a totally different look for this fit because Kendel Dolby's then cut off. The second puller's able to turn up on Stutzman, and maybe they've got something. If he kicks Stutzman out, and then the tackle goes over to Kip, then we've got a different. We got problems on our hands here. That's straight down the middle, hitting his head on the goalpost. Great job by Woolard.
it's a good reminder that for a defense, when you run gap schemes, the gaps change.
Yep.
When you have those pullers coming, and that's a great understanding by Woolard, knowing, hey, that's my gap. I gotta get inside. I consider that selfless football.
Yep.
You're not going to make the play, but that is my gap. That is the gap I'm responsible for. I am getting into the gap.
And you're burying yourself here, right? And what I love about Stutzman is this is different than we would have saw him, a year ago, 2 years ago. You can see him. He is patient. He expects the pullers coming back across. He is square the entire time. He's not over his feet, out of control. He's measured. He's balanced until he squares him up right in the hole. And then you see him. He's got a good wide base, snaps the hips. Then after contact, continues to run his feet and finish the play off. Beautifully done.
You think I would say right about here, the running back has to be going, someone's supposed to be blocking him.
Dang it. Oh, no.
Bow.
He needs to be thinking, get his pads down.
Yeah, you may want to get down. May want to get down, man.
But great job by Stutzman. Excellent.
This is interesting. What do you think Bowman and Stutzman are saying to him? Like, hey, great effort, man.
Yeah, good job. Hey, maybe you'll win the next one. Doubtful.
Oh, we got a little flex. Is this the one where he dances? I'm pretty sure it's the one.
I think so.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
In the
Uh-huh.
cavernous helmet that looks like, what is it, Marvin the Martian? It's got
You
the
remember
helmet.
Mega Man, the video game? What do you give the dance celebration?
Uh,
I kind of love it. It's perfectly awkward enough for him.
I
It's
mean,
on
it's
brand.
it's it's got to be bad whenever you get absolutely destroyed by a guy and you get up and see him doing this type of dance.
Look at Kip like,
He's like,
okay, what is that?
he's like, stop, dude, you're on camera. You're on camera.
They're going to be zooming in. You made a great play. Stop.
Oh, that's
He played a
awesome.
hell of a football game.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Anything else on that play?
No, I think that's just a really perfectly fit play. Great job by Kendel Dolby coming off, squeezing, limiting the space. Good job by Woolard fighting to get under. Good job by Stutzman, patient, square to the line of scrimmage, has his base under him, and Bowman's right there to clean up any mess.
It's also a perfect call into that offensive play.
Yep. Yep.
Great job, Zach Alley. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode of In the Weeds. Please make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you really liked this, you can give us a little super thanks down. I think it's down this way. I'm pretty sure it's down that way. One of these ways. You don't have to. We'd appreciate it if you did, though. All right, we'll see you next time here on In the Weeds.